Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. Looking at the DXY on the daily, nothing's changed. Still would like to see some more downside, but in this wave C down in here, it has broken the ending point of the wave A, so it can be finished at any time. So nothing's changed since last week on the daily. H4, we got the 5 down, and we got an impulse up. We don't have any bullish divergence, and we have a possible bear hidden here. So you do have to be careful. This is looking corrective for another one up. It may just go and break that top there and then fall over on you, breaking this low, and the bear hidden plays out. That's sort of what I'm thinking will happen. On the H1, it's very difficult to trade. There is no, there really isn't a setup. We've got an impulse down. We've got sort of a correction. I'd be looking for another one down here, and then you could look for a buy. Just for a scalp, you definitely want to be at break even at the break of this top here, because like I said, it may just come down and break that low as soon as this top's broken. AU on the daily, nothing's changed on the daily. We're looking for this wave C up. I'm still looking for more upside. There is a bear hidden here. Not really looking at that bear hidden at this stage, but it may play out. The H4, I'm looking at this as more motive. I'm looking at this as a WXY. I should have changed the count. And then we get an X2 and then a Z up. We do have a bull hidden here. So sort of looking for a buy. I'll be looking at this as an A, a B, and a C in here as your flat. And then you get an A, B, C. Again, you'll have to be careful with the sell, because it may just come and break this low here and then shoot up with that bull hidden on the H4. But if you got a little sell in here, Monday, Tuesday, you could look for a sell. Definitely want to be at break even at the break of this low, and then if you get a buy set up, you could look for a buy to go and break the top. GU, nothing's changed on the daily. We still, there's two scenarios, like I've mentioned for many times. I should have changed it, got rid of this count here. I will get rid of that now. But we got this A, B, C. We can either look at it like that, or this is the A, B, C here. Then this is the impulse, and this is looking corrective. Like I've mentioned many times, there's two scenarios on this at this stage. So we may get like an A, B, C in here, and then get another one up, or it comes down and breaks the low. But if we look on the H4, starting to get very choppy up the top here after 5 up. We got the 5 up, and we're starting to get a larger correction. So really, there's not really much to do at this stage, because we'd be looking for a correction larger than this over here, and this is starting to become larger, so that's great. But we really need a nice setup, because like I said, on the daily, this can fall over. There was a little buy in there during the week, but now it's more of a sell. You sort of got 5 down in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3 up. So you could look for at least a B, C in here. If this does fall over on you, that's all good. But yeah, I'd be looking at the 100 fib to take the half off the table, like an A, B, C, wherever the 100 fib ends up to be. Yeah, I'd be looking to at least take half off because it may bounce, give you a buy set up for more upside. EU, again, very similar to DEA. We're really looking for more upside in this wave C up. But looking at the lower time frames, it may be coming to an end. And if I just go back to the daily there, this C wave up in here can be completed any time, like I mentioned last week. It has broken the ending point A. So this wave C can be finished at any time. H4, we've got the 5 up. This is looking bearish in here. We did get a little buy set up in there, the scalp, but now it's looking like a buy, sell. So you definitely could look for a sell on this. Sort of got that A, B, C up. It's starting to mess around here, so you will have to be careful. But if you get a sell set up in here, you definitely can look for an A, a B, look for the C down. If it falls over on you, all good. But just be mindful where that 100 fib is. If you get a sharp bounce off of it and a bullish setup, well, I'd be getting out of the sells and looking to get into the buy. Just to go and break the top, and that's pretty much it. I wouldn't expect too much more upside on this. But yeah. New Zealand USD. This is very similar as well. We got an A, looking at a B, and looking at this C up. Really like to see more upside on this. Like many of the other majors, we got the 5 up. We got the 5 up. We get an A. We're looking at a B. We get a C down, larger correction, and then we can start to look for buys again for another 5 up. Very similar to the others, pretty much. So you could look for a sell in here just for an A, B, C. Then if you get the bullish set up, more than likely it won't even be next week. It'll be the week after that you get this buy set up. And then you can look to go and break the top for another 5 up. GY. GY. We're looking at that WX extended wave Y. We're looking for that X2 and then the Z up. So we're still waiting for this X2. There were a few trade. There was a nice buy in here as well for a scalp, or you could have brought on this one. To buy up here, you really, very risky to buy at this stage. Like I said last week, this can become very complex, and it's still looking at it that way. Looking at this as the B wave, and then we get an A, B, C. This is a regular flat here, and then we get an A, B, C. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some downside, and then we get the A, B, C, finishing off the correction before we get an A, B, C. So like I said last week, this can become very complex. Last week we were looking for this one up, and it did take off. It actually went further than I thought it would. So yeah, there's really not much on it at this stage. The H1, you'd be looking at an extremely risky bull hidden. You got a bull hidden here. It's not something I would trade. You'd have to join the group to know the reasons why I wouldn't trade this, but this is looking bullish. You could look to buy just to break that top. Again, very risky to buy, to just break that top. USD Japan. Looking at this A, all this is a B, and looking for this C down. It started to go and now it's come back up. There is two scenarios on this as well. That this is a flat here. We get some sort of an A, all this is a B, and this is a C here as a flat. And then we get like an A, B, C. And then I'd still, even if this top here gets broken, I'd still be looking at this as the B wave. And then we get a C down. So then we get that larger A, B, C before we get more upside. It's more of a buy. Well, as you can see, this is looking really good, actually. It doesn't get to look much better than this. We're getting a nice running flat at this stage here. I'll just remove that arrow there. So we got a nice impulse. When we got this impulse here, I said, we're waiting for a correction, and then we'll look for at least an A, B, and a C. So if you get a buy set up on the lower time frames, I mean, you'd be going right down onto the lower time frames here to trade this flat. You'd be looking for a little flag in here on Monday for your buy. Definitely want to be at break even at the break of the top, and yeah, this can break that daily top, like I said, so we're getting a nice correction. If you get a buy set up, I definitely would be looking to take it. UCAD on the daily. This is extremely difficult. Like I've mentioned many times, it's not really playing out, and I would be staying out of it. I'll go over it quickly from the top. We got that WXY, X2, this X1, and this X2 were of a similar size. So I was looking for this to go up and break the top up to that first target at 123.6, and then there's that second target, the 161.8. We did start to get a nice move up. So we did start to get the nice move up. We got the 5 up on the H4. Then we got that impulse down, and then another impulse. So we got this A, B, C here, and then the A, B, C like we've been looking at all along. And then we got this A, B. I was just looking for a C down here, and then a buy setup. It's kept on going. It still is. I still have to look at it as an A, B, and a C as an expanding flat. Because this low hasn't been broken, so I'm still looking at it the same way as an expanding flat, big expanding flat. If you do get some sort of a bullish setup in here, you definitely could look for it. It is extremely risky because we are getting a bear hidden in here. So it may just shoot up on you and then give you another one down. I would just be staying out of this. It's extremely risky. It's not playing the game. And there's a lot better, for example, UY that we just went over. You'd be much better to trade that than, stuff around on the USD CAD. The Swissy looks okay. We got this A, B, C. We got this A, B, C down. Bounced off this trend line. And we do overall have that bullish divergence. So I'm only looking for buys. It may not be ready yet. It's sort of it was playing nicely. We got this A, and then we got this W, X, Y, X2, and it's just looking for a Z down here, and then like an A, B, C to give us a flat, and then we get an A, B, C. Well, we still did get that. We still did get that. But the problem was, like I mentioned, we lost all that bullish divergence. So we got the A, B, C up to the 100 fib. It's still hanging around this 100 fib. So I'd definitely be looking for another one up in here before we may get more downside. So in short, I don't think this is the end of the wave. Like the A, the B, and the C in here, I don't think this wave C up in here is over. To finish off this B wave, yeah, it's very difficult, you know, but it is looking bullish in here. And again, because of what's happening on the daily with the bullish divergence, we're right down the low. I'm only looking for buys on this pair. I'm not really looking for sells. So in the room, we were looking at this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. We got an A, B, and we got this C down. If you get any bullish setup in here on Monday, Tuesday, on the lower time frames, you could look for at least an A, a B, and a C. EG. So if I just go over this quickly again on the daily, we're looking at that A, B, and extended wave C. So we got this W, X, Y, X2, and we're looking for that Z down in here as the extended wave. This wave in here never went and broke the lows, like even that low there. So it become quite tricky on the lower time frame. We're waiting for this. We got this nice impulse down. We're waiting for a correction, and now, you know, we're getting more downside. So it's pretty much playing. We got this lower. We had all that bearish divergence here. We had the lower low, you know, got the correction, and so, you know, you should already be in the sell if you do trade this. There may be another opportunity now. I'll just have a quick look, see if there's anything on the. We've already got. Yeah, we're starting to get. It's already broken the low here, so it becomes risky now because we do have that bullish divergence. This one has broken that low. So yeah, it's going to be hard to get in. You know, there was a little trade in here, which would have been ideal to get in for the sell. If you've missed it, you missed it. WTI, excuse me. There's two scenarios here, like I've mentioned, like over and over again for quite a while. Looking at that as the impulse. This can be either an impulse and then we get a correction in here and we get an A, a B, and a C. It may or may not go and break that low. And then we get an A, B, C as some sort of running or expanding flat or regular flat if this low doesn't get broken. And then we get another one down. Or second scenario is this is the impulse, this is the correction, and we get an A, B, C. So they're the two scenarios. I'm sort of going with, like I've always have, once this wave in here becomes so deep with the 5 down in here on the lower time frame, and this not going, I'm more inclined to think that this is a and then we get a B in here and then a C down, then we get the larger A, B, C, before we get more downside. This is looking bearish in here as well. You know, the H4, like I mentioned, we got that 5 down. bullish divergence. This was quite choppy, sharp down, and this is looking corrective here. So I'm looking at some sort of an A, B, C, A, B, C, and then we get more downside, more than likely. So again, because we're at the bottom of the market on the daily, I'm not really interested in any sells. I'll wait for, if we get this down, if this bearish structure here plays out, and then get a more downside, any lower low that I get, and a buy setup, I'll just be looking for the buys, and I'll just keep on looking for those buys. Gold, looking for downside here. This has gone up and broken the top on the weekly, like I've shown. You can go back through the videos if you want to look at that. But we got 123.6. It never got to that target, but this wave here has broken the top. So it can fall over at this stage. On the H4, like I've mentioned, if I just take that off, there was a buy in there. But on the H4, we got that A, B, C, bounced off the 100 pip, sharp move down, and we had that bull hidden there. This one here hasn't broken the top, but I still think we get an A, a B, and a C up in here. It may or may not go and break that top this wave C. And then we get another one down for an A, B, C. So, I mean, there may be a buy set up on it. I mean, you're buying, you got to realize if you're looking to buy this, you are buying at the top of the market. This is the weekly chart, and we got that W, X, Y, X2, and we'll get that Z up. We didn't, like I said, we broke the ending point of wave Y, so we're right at the top. If you want to, start scalping buys up here, well, that's on you. It's not something I'd do. So, you could, if you're inclined to do it, you could look for this C up in here, just as a wave C. Like you could look for the A, the B. If you get a little setup in here, you could look for A, C up, but just to go and break that top. You definitely would want to be a break even at the break of that top, even at the break of this top on the lower time frames. So if we have a look at the lower time frame, you can only buy this at this stage. There is no sell on it. So what I'd be looking for, I'd be looking for three down in here, an A, a B, and a C, and then going down onto the lower time frames, looking for your, buy setup, at least an A, B, C, just breaking that top. But if you got the A, the B, and the C, and then you got the buy setup, I'd be moving to break even at the break of this top here for the A, B, C. Monitoring the trade and keeping tight stops, because like I said, we're at the top of the market. You definitely don't want to be stuck in a buy at the top of the market and it's falling over on you. Silver was very similar. If I just go over it, we got that. We got these five up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We lost that bearish divergence, so we're just looking for a larger correction. We got that larger correction. We got a nice impulse up, but that never went and broke that top. So I still am looking for it to break the top, but hasn't been playing real nicely. Excuse me. The H4, we got like the W, X, Y, X2. We had that bull hidden there. It never went. I was looking after this impulse here, just looking for a buy setup in here to go up and break that top. And we never got that. So we're getting some sort of a larger correction, getting some sort of an A, B, C as an expanding flat. So I'd still be looking for at least an A, B, C. I doubt if it'll go and break the top. I'll be more looking at this as like an A, B, C in here. and more than likely this will become very deep to this impulse here, and then we get an A, a B, and a C down. So there may be a buy setup like on gold. Again, you can only buy this at this stage. You can only really buy it. There is a possible like A, and this goes for the gold as well. There's a possible A, a B, and a C here, as a flat, and then you get more downside. If you got a sell set up in here, you could look for it for that flat, but you just I'll be just looking for an A, B, C in here on the lower time frames. If that flat wants to play out, well, it will go and break the low. So you got to be careful with the buy. It's what I teach in the group, how to get into these trades. Like I said, in our group, we can only buy this at this stage. On the H1, but you can see we got a nice impulse down here. You may get a correction in here and then a C down. If you got the A, B, C in here and then a bullish setup, well, then you could look for more upside for the A, B, C. Bitcoin on the daily. Excuse me. So we're just looking at this last bit here, this last impulse. Nothing's changed and nothing will change for quite a while. We got this impulse. We're looking for the correction back to this 50 fib. And then, we can start to look for buys again for the A, B, C. Like I said, I wouldn't be trading up here. Wait for the correction. And then we look for the buys again. Now you can look for a sell. So we got a nice impulse down here. If you get a correction in here, Monday, Tuesday, you can look for at least an A, B, C. And I would be targeting this 50 fib. I may have to adjust this 50 fib. It may have gone up a little bit further. Yeah, it has. It's gone up a little bit further. But nothing's changed. Still looking at this as the impulse. So there was a buy set up in here for that last bit up there. If you go back, I think it was last week. We were looking for that buy just up to here. And that played out. And now we starting to get the sell setups. So I would be looking for the sell. And yeah, I'd be targeting that 50 fib. Or at least an A, a B, and wherever that 100 fib is, I'd be taking half off and, start looking for a second target at the 50 or 61.8 or wherever your second target will be. But yeah, so this is, you're just scalping the sell because you're selling into a correction and waiting for that correction before you look for a buy again. So you may not get a buy for, a few weeks. S&P 500, this has played out exactly how we've been looking at it for a very long time. I put out a trade view idea around here somewhere for this A, B, C, turned into a wave Y. Then we're looking for a correction X2, and then we're looking for this, wave Z up to the 123.6, and it hadn't quite got up to the 161.8 yet, but it still can. Not that you want to be buying up here. Your buys were down in here for that wave Z, but yeah. The H4, it was quite difficult on the H4. We had this nice impulse up in here. It started to correct, but I was looking for a nice correction. We never got that nice correction. It did give us like 3 up. We did get 1, 2, 3 up. We got the bearish divergence. We were looking at this flat in here, A, B, C, just to go and break that top. That's happened now. So, we're looking for sells. We're getting all this bearish divergence. We're at the top of the market. It may go a little bit further, up to that 161.8 or even higher than that. But, we're getting to the end of the market. So it becomes difficult to buy up here. Well, it becomes risky to buy up here. So we have broken the top. There's really nothing on it at this stage. Is really, I mean, if anything, it's bullish. Like you're getting an A, a B, you get a C down here as a running or expanding flat, and then you get another one up. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up in here. A, B, C, flat correction, and then you get another 5 up. Yeah. So you got to wait for this C down and then start looking for your buy to get in on it with more upside if you're inclined to buy at the top of the market. AU 200, this has played out beautifully. It really has. We're looking at that A, B, C, and the B wave, and then that C up. This C up's gone and broken the ending point of wave A, so it's done. It's done as we expected. And again, you want to be in the buys down here. There's buy down there, and there's another one there. It looks like it's giving another buy now, but do you want to take that? You're at the top of the market. You will be buying a wave Z, a WXY. We're looking for that X2, and then you look for that wave Z up. Like I said, when this ends, we'll be looking for a bull hidden. We're getting that bull hidden. You get another one down in here for an A, B, C, A, B, C, and then you look for that buy set up on the lower time frames in here somewhere, and yeah, definitely want to be a break even at the top, and you'll be targeting the 161.8 of this move here. I can't draw it yet and put it on because it's too early. We still haven't finished the correction. I'd be looking, like I said, an A, B, C here. I should go down to the H1 to see it better, but I think you get what I mean. Looking at this A, B, C in here, A, B, C, and then you get that A, B, C. If you get that buy set up after the 3 down, well then you look for the buy. The FTSE, this really is a terrible pair. Terrible instrument to trade. It's really, there's nothing on it. There really isn't nothing. You risk it. It could go either way. We got that like A, B, C. It's gone up, broken the top again. So, this is looking choppy wave here. We've got 1, 2, 3 in here. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C before you get an A, B, C, like I've gone over many times. Yeah, you're just scalping. That's all you can do on this pair, and it's quite risky. You're looking for anything, you'd be looking for a buy in here. If you're inclined to trade this pair, I'd be looking for a nice breakout of the trend line and nice flag or correction on the lower time frames, and then looking just to break that top. And you definitely want to be a break even on that. I dare say after we get a higher, we'll start to get that bearish divergence. So yeah. Lastly, looking at the DAX, this one's broken the top as well. This was a lot nicer than the FTSE, but we got that A, B, C. Then we got that A, B, C. I didn't like this wave C down in here. We were looking for a little bit more downside, but that's fine. That was the end of it. Then we got this nice impulse. So, we're just waiting for a correction. Like I said, after we got this impulse, you have to wait for the correction. And that's all we're doing. We're waiting for this correction. And as you can see on the H4, we've been waiting for this correction for a couple of weeks now. It may take another week or more before we get the buy set up. Ideally, I would like a deeper correction back to the 50 pip. It's probably only at the 23.6 at this stage, or the 38.2, but just wait for this correction before you start to buy. I don't think this doesn't look complete, this correction here. Sort of, it's becoming complex. We're getting like an A, B, C in here. So we may get an A, B, C up in here, and then you get an A, B, C. Then if you get the buy set up, you look for the buy. There is another scenario in here as well. You know, this is this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, impulse down. You get 3 in here, and then you get another 5 up for 5, 3, 5 as your correction, zigzag correction, and then you get 1, 2, 3, or an A, B, C rather. You know, so either way, you know, you got the two scenarios there that it can be. I wouldn't be going, like, you could sell this too, because you're at such a high in the market. You know, if you're looking at that second scenario I just showed, you know, if you got a sell in here, you could sell it for an A, B, C, and it may fall over on you. You know, it may give you like a WXY, X2, Z down to that 50 fib, you know. So, you know, because you're at the top of the market, you could look for this sell. It is risky, you know. It's more of a correction. All this, I mean, we can see that it's a correction. You know, all this is a correction. You know, after this impulse, we're getting a correction. So, you know, I don't really expect it to fall over and break the low or anything. But, you know, yeah, if you get a little sell in here because you're up the top of the market, you may get a little bit out of it, and then you'll be looking for the buy. So I hope you all enjoyed the weekly outlook. If it did, please help the channel out, like, subscribe, share, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.